Hi, I'm Leighton Jim, the Director of Development for the American Documentary and Animation Film Festival, which is March 25th to 29th at the Palm Springs Cultural Center. We have a great little feature here with Crystal Harrell and and Kent Kay, and the film is called Name Tags, and they're both local stars here. Crystal has been recognized as one of the top 40 under 40 here in the area. Kent is just a superstar producer here in the Valley. So I'm going to let you guys talk about your film Name Tag. How did you guys come about with this idea to do this feature, and and your relationship, how you guys met, and what led to this?
I'll let Crystal start.
So I am the writer of Name Tag, and I'm a Coachella Valley native, born and raised. I grew up here in the Valley, and my background has always centered on storytelling. And my origin story, I guess, I was really involved with poetry, creative writing growing up in high school, and that kind of carried on with me into my adulthood. And as I went through these different life transitions, graduating college, getting married, getting my dream job, essentially working at News Channel 3. I always carried that kind of passion for poetry with me. And it was at KSQ that I met my mentor, creative director, Kent Kay there. And from the get-go, we really collaborated really well. And he really kind of showed me a whole new different kind of storytelling behind the scenes with broadcast television and kind of from a visual standpoint, how that works. Because my world was always the written word, and I got a whole new different perspective working there. And I had been kind of formulating this idea for a poem for a while, just from my personal experiences going through this transitional point in my life. The struggles I was having, and it was just something that was very cathartic for me to kind of express internally. And at the time, Kent K, he was doing his own creative projects as well and kind of delving into education and film. And he approached me because I had shared this poem prior on social media, and he was aware of the verses of the stanzas. And I had gotten really good reception towards this poem. I had done open mic nights before locally, and I would always get these women and moms coming up to me saying like, "Oh, this really resonated with me." And I was always very touched by that I was able to kind of reflect and mirror the same emotions and situations that others were going through as well. And Kent had read these verses as well, and he was like, I kind of want to do something with this. Can I capture these stanzas in your poetry into this short film that I have? So we kind of worked with the idea. I elongated some of the stanzas and the verses, and it just went from there into a whirlwind of a shoot, literally in a sandstorm over the span of a weekend. And it was really touching just to have, the idea for this poem, something that was very personal to me and something very dear to me, to be conceptualized into this artistic piece that I'm very proud of that we made together with our small crew.
Can you expand really quick, like when you read what she wrote, and what was it about it that touched you and also inspired you to do something a little bit more with it in terms of visually?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so when I was watching it like on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, whatever platform of the moment that she posted it on. As I was watching and listening to the words that she had written, I was seeing these scenes happen in my head as I was watching her read them, because I feel like that I had actually witnessed what she was talking about, even though what she was writing about was completely anonymous as far as like the characters in it. I feel like I had a sense of what she was referring to, and so I like it immediately created visual images in my head as she was speaking, and um, so some weeks went by after that, and I'm in a graduate master's degree program, MFA for film and television production. And one, I had in my directing class, I had an assignment where I had to, I could either, um, well, there was options, but one of the options was I could make a short. And instantly I was called back to this moment where I was listening to Crystal read this poem, and it would like instantly was all in my head as to what it needed to be. So yeah, that's why I asked her if we could make a short out of it. So that's how that came to be.
And then what led for you guys to take the next step and start entering into festivals?
Because I felt like more people needed to see it, and I had literally had bled and on this shoot because we like did all of this in one day, and when when you look at it and you think, well, this was all shot in like a span of 6 hours, and all of these things that came together into all of these moments, like we would show up at a place and be there for 20 minutes, shoot this part, and then go on to the next thing. And I felt like it there was this crucible of like all this stuff that was like forced together in a way that I just felt like it needed that kind of treatment. So we started entering it, and I'm really grateful that AmDocs decided to give it a home, because I'm really proud of it, and I'm really proud of Crystal and everything that she's accomplished in such a short amount of time. And it's just a statement to her fortitude and her resilience, and um, what she's become compared to when I first met her the very first time, probably 5, 6 years ago.
Can you talk about the pivot you guys have made? I think, I know it lists your job titles when you're at KSQ as promotion and creative, but you guys are so much more. But can you talk about making that pivot from what you guys did at KSQ to now doing a documentary and a film for a festival?
Yeah, so um, some years ago, I wanted, so many years ago, my bachelor's degree was in film, and I really wanted to um, do more visual storytelling. And in news, you kind of have to be kind of neutral in your storytelling. Like you have to really tell it like it is, and you can't really uh, add too much to the visual story without, you know, influencing what other people are thinking about what they're seeing. And so about 6 years ago, I made the decision that I wanted to continue to pursue filmmaking. And so then I started working on this graduate degree, and I'm actually working on two different ones. And the as I've continued to work on those degrees, I realized that I would never get them done in this lifetime unless I pursued them like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So something had to, I had to turn something off. So I was very fortunate that my wife had a full-time job so that I could still have a place to live, not be homeless and not be employed full-time, although I do work part-time as a adjunct instructor at College of the Desert.
Um, but I mean, Ken, you've also been involved with the film festival a couple years ago, KSQ.
Hmm.
We have a partnership with KSQ, and you guys came in with a Salt Sea
Hmm.
documentary, and you came in
Hmm.
and participated in our Q&A, which we appreciate. And
Hmm.
now you've helped bring in College of the Desert to be a significant part of our festival. So thank you for all of that.
We're
Um,
significantly trying to grow that, yeah.
yeah, and I think it's great. I've told people I want to discover the next Scorsese and Coppola out here in the Valley, and you're helping us give us that opportunity, and hopefully it'll give Crystal an opportunity. Crystal, what has Kent told you about the festival, and what are you looking forward to with our festival? I know it's a little bit different from Palm Springs International, but what are your
Yeah.
thoughts, and what do you hope to
So
get out of it?
So this is my first time as, an entry in the festival, but I am familiar with AmDocs' work, and I love that it spotlights a lot of local voices, stories that other people would not be aware of if it weren't for the fact that there's this curation of different cultural, creative, short form storytelling that's being exposed to, audiences here in Greater Palm Springs. And I really have always admired that about AmDocs, just bringing those voices to light and showing those identities, which is really the core of what name tag is, just bringing that vulnerability and showcasing a part of yourself or a part of your story that others might not even be aware of or see, from the surface. So this festival really enables participants to really let audiences get a glimpse into their creative process and their personal lives. And it's really a gem of a festival.
And then, Crystal, you being a native, what have you told your friends about being in, being the hometown girl in the hometown festival? What's that been like, and what kind of responses have you got?
I love the desert. Growing up here, I have so many memories, and just my formative years were always filled with the hope that I would be able to have an opportunity like this. So it really comes full circle with the love and support that I have from my family, my friends, my mentors, which I thankfully got to make a film with. It really is humbling to have that support from my network in my hometown and being able to showcase this talent because the Coachella Valley is rife with so much undiscovered talent, whether it's musicians, photographers, storytellers of so many kinds. It really is a special time for culture here in the Greater Palm Springs area, and I couldn't be more proud to represent the Coachella Valley. Honestly, at this point in my life, I couldn't see myself living anywhere else.
And so I know Kent has done a few films. Crystal, are you starting to, is this kind of inspire you to do other things? Because, obviously I feel like our festival is accessible because, a lot of people do great films with their cell phone. So, you know, everyone can everyone has a voice and we give them platforms, kind of what I like to tell people. Do you foresee yourself maybe doing more in this venue?
Oh, most definitely. My passion for film is I've carried with me for a while as well. My background was written journalism and communications. I actually did minor in film at my university, but there wasn't really a program at the time that could really allow me to explore more of that in a professional setting. But the passion was always there. I'm such a film nerd, and my husband and I, who was also part of the crew for this film as well, it's our favorite pastime to go to the film festivals out here and kind of just talk about like, what we just saw and analytical discussion. Right now, I'm currently pursuing my master's degree at Arizona State to master in media and film studies. So I do have aspirations of teaching, to take part in this industry more because I love it. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the storytelling process. And that kind of also harkens back to my experience working at KSQ. It's just storytelling in a visual medium. Sometimes words aren't even needed, and it's a beautiful process to see unfold because there's so many different aspects and perspectives that, people can get from your work. And I definitely see myself exploring more of that as time unfolds.
Let's embarrass Kent a little bit, but can you talk about his influence on you? Because obviously, when you're talking about the direction you're going, it's kind of like the direction he's been on. Can you talk about what kind of mentor he's been, how he's inspired you, and now he's also pivoting to College of the Desert. What kind of instructor do you think he'll be, and in shaping a lot of these young minds? Can you break it down for us about Kent?
Oh, okay. I'll give you the scoop. No, but I just going back to that first experience. I have been a lifelong watcher of News Channel 3. I grew up watching it as a ritual with my family, and I knew that growing up there, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want to be in front of the camera, but I wanted to work at the station. So as soon as I would see a job application open for the station, I would hit apply and see where it would take me. I saw this listing for a promo producer, and I didn't know what that would exactly entail, but I applied anyway. And I got an interview. And that was when I met Kent K, circa 2018, 2019. And from the get-go, I could tell he was just so invested in this creative vision and was so knowledgeable and generous with his experience and sharing that with, others as well. And, I interviewed, we had a good talk. I didn't end up getting the job, but that's okay. We kept in touch and we kind of just, I needed to build more experience up to that point because I hadn't really dealt with any visual camera work or computer editing. So we kept in touch. 2022 rolls around, that same job opens up again. So I apply again. I meet Kent again, all goes well. And I still didn't get the job. So it was always this recurring thing of, me wanting to have this role, but him always encouraging me saying, you're not ready yet, but keep doing what you're doing, keep owning your skills and keep being more, focused on that. And we'll see where this goes, maybe someday. So a third time rolls around. Uh, I see the same position open up and I almost don't want to do it. But I keep remembering, like, the worst that could happen, he just says no again. But, at this point, I was familiar, with who Kent was, what his role was at the station, and I grew more confident with the skills that I had. So I applied again. And, I let him know that by this point I'm very dedicated, and I just need a chance. And he said, "You're right." So he hired me on in 2022, and that was a really big life-changing moment for me professionally, creatively, and I will always be thankful for just his patience and his understanding when I first got hired because I had never worked on Photoshop. I had never done any video editing, but he took a chance on me, and I will be forever grateful that he did because I would not be the person I am today if he had not hired me. And just being able to work creatively as colleagues, as opposed to just a boss, and a coworker. It's really special. And I think being able to collaborate creatively outside of a work environment or an office and just kind of being able to share space with creative, like-minded people to, create something that we both believe in together, it's really special. So in terms of his ability as a teacher and a mentor, he gets my full endorsement. I am
Oh, thank goodness.
I am proof that, with time and patience and support, that, being able to have someone believe in you and see what you're trying to do and, guide you and support you along the way of your journey at your pace, it means the world. So yeah, I am very thankful that I get to work with Kent K as the director.
I think we found you an Asian, Kent. That was remarkable.
Uh, can can I have equal time?
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's hear it, Kent.
Okay, so um, yes, Crystal is correct. I saw something in her many, many years ago, but I didn't want her to fail in if I put her in a role that she wasn't ready for. And I felt like she was the right person for the job, but she just wasn't ready yet. So yes, I did tell her no a couple of times before I actually did hire her. But I will say that in after that moment when she was hired, I cannot question anything about her loyalty, her ability to deliver on what she says she's going to do, her instinct to do whatever it takes to figure out whatever it is that I needed her to figure out, no matter how difficult or technically challenging it was. And keeping in mind that she came to the role with a visual understanding of what looks good and a visual understanding or a literal understanding of how words can be powerful. But the technical side, I have never in my life seen somebody dedicate themselves so quickly and so thoroughly to understanding how to use a camera, how to edit video, how to use all the Adobe Suite, how to become certified in every single Adobe program that she possibly could be certified in. And I I did leave KESQ about almost a year ago, and I would have to say that probably one of the saddest things that I had to do was to walk away from that position and have her there and hoping that she's able to fly on her own. And she's demonstrated that she's definitely been able to do that. And name tag, the short based on the poem that she's reading, it's it says a lot in that poem about the different titles that she takes on as she goes through this process. And every time I heard her reading these words, it was so authentic that it really had to be made into a short film. And uh, it says a lot about Crystal because I'm still in a graduate program and I'm working on my thesis right now. And when I had a script that I needed to be produced that we're shooting next month, the first person I asked if she would work on it with me was Crystal. And I knew I couldn't get it done the way that I wanted to get it done unless I had somebody with her dedication working on it with me. So I'm very proud that she's one of the producers on my thesis film. I'm very proud that she's going to be the script supervisor on my thesis film. And there's an avalanche of ideas that are constantly coming out of her. So I don't think I could do it without her.
Wow, very
So there you
impressive.
go.
So let's take another step back, Kent.
Sure.
Let's talk about the film when you were at AmDocs. Well, not
Hmm.
film, is really a news piece with Angela
Hmm.
about the Salton Sea. Can you talk about your experiences at AmDocs and working on that special segment, which was Emmy Award winning, if I remember right?
Yeah, it was. A couple of them were. There's a couple of them back. I would say that those specials that were featured on AmDocs, two of these and two of these came from that. And those are Murrow Awards and regional Emmy Awards. But the experience that we had on AmDocs was really, really special because we were able to screen the film or screen the pieces on a big screen. We had a large audience that was there, and we could hear how people were reacting as they were watching it, which is different than if you produce something for television and then you broadcast it, you never hear people's reactions, but we were there in the audience as people were watching it. And the after that was over, it was in a showcase, so there was three or four different things that were screened at the same time. And so all of us creators went up onto the stage, and the audience had some significant questions for us. And I really enjoyed being able to field those questions and talk about those pieces because there are things that as you watch something about the Salton Sea or you watch something about the Colorado River crisis, you these questions come up in your head, but you don't really have the opportunity to pose them. And so I really appreciated being able to hear from the audience about what questions that rose up in their mind that they wanted to ask about. And so yeah, it was a really special time.
And then you guys are going to be answering some questions in this film as well. And I think it's a great service for our audience. I think they enjoy the opportunity to ask questions about films, the filmmakers and stuff like and all that stuff. Um, let's circle back and just can't, thank you very much. You're bringing COD into the fold with us, and we're going to show some of the student films there. Can you talk about the relationship you helped us establish with College of the Desert, giving the students an opportunity to showcase their films as well? For whatever
Yeah.
reason, we have a lot of their films in the past, and now you're creating that bridge to our festival, which we really
Mhm.
appreciate.
Yeah. So College of the Desert has a film program, and we also have a journalism program. And in that film program, there is a class on documentary and there is a class on screenwriting. And I'm really trying to build something that's outside of the curriculum, where students can feel confident in that if they produce something that's an animation, we have an animation program at College of the Desert too. If students produce an animation or some sort of documentary type of film, that they can have a place for that to be featured. And it's not just something that, they make and then the class is over and then nothing happens with it. So yeah, we're really trying to inspire students to approach the projects that they are envisioning and they're conceiving of, not from just the perspective of this is an assignment I have to get done, but there's a road that this can go down that is past and lives longer than just this semester. So I'm really trying to build that into the students that we have there. And I'm at this point, I'm an adjunct, which means I teach part-time, 2 or 3 classes. Professor Laura Lee Jackson is the head of the film department, and she's really been wonderful in seeing the vision that I want to build and encouraging me to try and build that. And that's what led me to reach out to AmDocs.
Well, I would like to point out this is just something about AmDocs here really quick that we had a program with the Medill School of Journalism,
Hmm.
and the path that we can share with the COD students is one of the students. She came with a student project, about 20 minutes. She came back the next year, won our film fund to turn it
Hmm.
into a feature length. And
Wow.
now her film is on Paramount Plus called
Hmm.
Finding Yin Yang. And I think South by Southwest recognized her as like one of the top young voices through that. So we're very proud of that. We've had other
Hmm.
filmmakers come by and they win Peabody Awards. And I'm excited that we can offer that opportunity for the College of the Desert students, and all that thanks to you, Kent, because I know you were the one who
Well,
initiated it.
yeah. Well, I am pushing for it, but it doesn't come without the support of the school. I know the vice president of instruction, we've talked to her about it and she's in support of it. And we need to continue to build momentum and keep building it as time goes on, because we are moving the film program and the digital design program into a brand new campus in Palm Springs. And this is something that needs to be one of those, jewels in the crown. It can't just be the curriculum. Most faculty may say it's just the curriculum, but I'm a big believer in experiential learning, and these students need to have the experience of creating something that's tangible, that can be viewed and critiqued so that they can become better.
Well, I appreciate you both taking the time to speak to me today about name tag. We're looking forward to seeing at the film festival, and some more work from you guys down the road. I know this is just a beginning for both of you, so we're looking forward
Yeah,
to what the future holds.
30
Thank
years
you.
later, and it's just the beginning.
That's right. You got to start somewhere, Kent.
Yeah.
Again, the American Documentary and Animation Film Festival, AmDocs, is March 25th to 29th at the Palm Springs Cultural Center. Look at www.amdocfilmfest.com and we'll have the schedule. It's not quite posted yet. And we will have ticket information there. We look forward to having all of you out there and watch the great films such as Name Tags. Kent, Crystal, thank you so much. Really looking forward to it.
Thank you, Leighton.
Thank you.